Redfish, Paternoster rigs and big baits. Let's have a look at a few tips to help your success rate.
Personally, you can't beat a Paternoster rig. We don't need to overcomplicate our setups. Just a nice spin reel, 80-pound braid, run into an 80 to 100-pound leader. We don't need to get too fancy with our hooks. My personal favourite is the Mustard 7766s. I will not use anything smaller than a 7.0, but I'm more than happy to be running up around that sort of 9.0 size. It's a big hook, but when they dig in, they don't come out. Long dropper, and long is good. You can't make them almost long enough, as long as you don't get a twist on the way down. So you've got to be a bit mindful by the way you present your bait into the water to make sure it drops down nice and straight. But once you've got it in the water, it's dropped down straight. Long dropper, anywhere from 600 to a metre long, so 60 centimetres to 1 metre off your main line. And what that does is it keeps the bait free. It gives it that room so the fish aren't feeling the sinker, they're not feeling the rod tip. There's a bit of movement, a bit of give before any tension gets taken up. It also presents a lot of movement in the water with your bait, helps that bait really get out there and look very natural. And most importantly, what it's doing is it's getting your bait away from that main line, so when that fish comes in, it doesn't start rubbing. You can often feel these fish, they'll rub against your main line, you'll think it's a bite, but it's not, it's the fish coming into your bait, it's touched your main line, and often you'll feel everything go very quiet very quickly.
So a huss has come up off the bottom. Now, cleanly slipped a little fillet off the side of that, and I've basically shaved the tail in half. Now I'm going to cut that into basically another huss. I'm going to get 4 really cool long baits to hook up and send down to the depth, and one of them I can keep the tail on just to give that extra movement. And so much about catching these fish, the bigger reef species, is bait presentation. Now you listen to guys like Nicko who do this all the time. It's about putting a bait in the right place, so a lot about finding your fish, and then so much about that very subtle bait presentation. Rig it.
And the rig him, 9.0 hook, 7766, goes straight through there, pop him out there. Now the trap for young players is that bit right there. Leaving the little scale on the end of your hook, not good. Hook must be sharp. But up there, oh, just look at it.
You don't want really thick fillets, so if you're using your Mac tunas and those type of baits, once you've cut your long strips, you want to then shave off that thick bit of meat so that it waves in the current. So much about the thinking into your bait presentation can help you convert some of those really big reef predators. Hopefully this does exactly that. Let's look at some options for tying our Paternoster rig. Let's go and chase our reds offshore. End of the rig is obviously where our sinker goes. We want to create a dropper loop, and to start with we want to create a double loop that is longer than our sinker. That's going to allow us to easily loop this on and off. Having done that, we want to create one overhanded loop like so. We want to be able to spin that loop, pull that through and create our loop. That way, easily put our sinker on by simply looping it over. Our overhand dropper loop, we want to start by measuring far enough up the rig where we want to create that. When we're chasing our reds, we quite often want a good 60 centimetres to a metre above our sinker, so we've got a big free-flowing bait. We then want to double this over. So just for the purpose of this, I'm going to keep it a bit shorter than I normally would. And we now want to, where we've got those 2 lines overhanging, we're going to twist 6 to 8 times. Thereabouts, you'll notice we've now got twists on either side. We've got this open section here. Now we want to bring the middle of that loop up through this and use our teeth to tighten it. But before we do that, we want to basically, a bit of saliva on either side here, stops the line burn. Our teeth, and tighten up so. We've got a couple of options now. We can use that loop as it is to put on our hook, or we can snip it and double the length of that dropper. Now it all comes down to line twist. There's pros and cons of both. The loop gives you an extra bit of strength. It's a little bit stiffer, so it does tend to prevent a bit of line twist. If you're noticing you're getting a lot of line twist on a day, then maybe you keep your loop. If you're not and you want a longer, more naturally drifting bait, feel free to snip that and increase the length of the dropper. If you're using the straight loop to put on the hook, there's a wrong way and a right way. We're coming from the back end of the hook, the opposite to where the hook point is. tend to find we basically use physics to lever against our hook connection. So come over the hook like that, and you'll notice straight away the hook hangs away. So as we pull this, you're going to basically, on a straight pull, you're going to find you push on the back of the hook, you try to pull the hook away from its engagement point. The way we resolve that is we come in from hook point way. We loop straight over the top of the hook, and we now, you notice as we pull on this, we're going to pull the hook point into the engagement, so much better for having fish stay connected, which makes all of us very happy. So there's a few do's and don'ts, and an easy way to start your Paternoster rig for your next trip offshore, and hopefully gets the job done for you.